everybody, it's Christy, and I was just thinking about the difference between fat and sugar and how little I knew about that before in my previous life before carnivore. I can remember learning, I think when I was in high school maybe, or early college years, you know, the different calories that are in the 3 macronutrients. So like carbohydrates, you know, 4 calories per gram, protein, 4 calories per gram, fat, ooh, that bad fat, 9 calories per gram, and think, well, I'm gonna avoid that 9 calorie stuff and go for the other 2. Because a calorie was a calorie was a calorie. And I thought that eating less and moving more was the way to go, and so I would do that by being smart and eat the lower calorie of the macronutrients. And what I've learned since then is that, well, a lot of things, but normally, I mean, not normally, but most of the time for most Americans on the standard American diet, the body will run off of that glucose, off of those carbohydrates, and that is what gets into the cells and provides the energy. But the problem with that is we tend to eat way too much processed foods, refined sugars, and things of that nature. And when we are doing that, we are hungry all the time. Those processed foods do not leave us feeling full or satiated. In fact, those companies on purpose strive for something called the bliss point, where it just tastes so good and we just want more of it. So you can shovel Doritos in your face. I could eat a whole bag of Doritos and not feel full. Because even though I was putting in all kinds of those calories, it wasn't the right kind of calories that would actually make me feel like I had gotten some food, some nutrient. Well, there's no nutrients in there, right? But even though my stomach was full, I didn't necessarily feel full. And after I ate that, it wouldn't take long, you know, before I was hungry again. I remember feeling every 2 or 3 hours like I just needed to have something to eat. And I would say often, like, my blood sugar's low. I need to eat, my blood sugar's low. So the problem with that is that you're eating every 2 to 3 hours, and every time you eat, your insulin has to also spike up to cope with all of that glucose that you're putting in your body and try to keep it at a sane level. Your body is not meant to have just copious amounts of glucose flowing around in there. And you know, there's an alternate fuel for your cells. So most of your cells in your body can run also on ketones. Ketones are produced in the liver when you eat fat. So your body can run on ketones, and in fact, many parts like your brain and your heart, for example, for 2 examples, can run more efficiently on those ketones than they can on the glucose. Not to mention that when you're eating fat, I personally get 60 to 70, maybe 75% of my calories from fat. And my body is currently fat adapted. And when I eat a high fat, also good protein meal with as few carbs as possible, then what happens is my body turns that fat into ketones, and I'm running on those. I feel satiated for 20 hours usually. For example, just now I polished off, I don't measure anything, so I would say it was about 10 ounces to 12 ounces of ribeye steak. And then I had 3 leftover chicken thighs, bone in, skin on. They were small because they were from pasture raised, you know, chickens. So they weren't artificially inflated in their size, but I ate, you know, 3 of those as well. I am full, I feel fine. The only reason I'm thinking about food right now is because I'm talking to you guys about it. And I will not eat again until probably tomorrow, late morning, 11:45, noon, somewhere in that range. Now on the weekends, it's a little bit different. We're heading into a weekend here soon. And on the weekends, I might eat a breakfast, like around 10, of bacon and eggs, right? And then maybe a dinner, a dinner around 3, something like that. So my weekends are just different because I'm not working. But either way, I eat 2 meals a day with a small window of maybe 4 hours in between. Usually during the week, I have one small meal, and that's only because I'm at school and I'm teaching and I don't have time to really, you know, get a big meal in there. So anyway, my body runs on ketones and it is just super efficient at doing that. And because of that, I don't feel that up and down, blood sugar up, blood sugar down all day long. And so I just wanted to encourage any of you out there that are thinking about this way of eating. That is one of the main benefits I have, is that I just have this steady and stable energy all the time. That comes from my body that is fat fueled and running on those ketones. And I have no brain fog because my brain is getting the best fuel possible. I feel great all day. When I wake up in the morning, I'm not starving to death. It's not the first thing on my mind. In fact, I go quite a while before I start thinking about food. And when I do think about food, it's like, okay, my body needs some food. I am not hangry, like I have to eat now or else, right? I'm gonna pass out, or I feel weak. Like none of those things happen anymore. So yes, your body can run on sugar. Yes, your body can run on ketones. I hope you decide to give those ketones a try, because I think you're gonna find out that you're gonna meet some wellness one ketone at a time. Okay, I'm getting ready to video this, but I just wanted to show you. Here she is. Now she's gonna walk away to prove me wrong. Okay, there she goes.